Welcome to another episode of Life on the Lick Run. Now, earlier this year I did a video on heartleaf poison bush, and in that video I talked about how that when cattle eat the heartleaf poison bush, it usually kills them. And I said in there about how that after a bushfire, after a bushfire comes through and it burns the leaves off the bush, and then it reshoots from the base and has these little iridescent green shoots that come through, and that is when one of the times that bush is when it is most deadly, after it reshoots from fire. And so I said in that video also that I was going to start to do some trials with the likes of bentonite, which is a product that is being used nowadays, that's put in lick in heartleaf country, so that absorbs the toxins when the cattle eat it. So that's what I've got here now. I've got some bentonite, and I've not long got this. It took a while. I ordered it back earlier on and it's finally turned up. But in the meantime, we did have a bushfire come through. We lost a fair bit of our place before we finally got some rain to put the fire out, and it burnt a lot of our heartleaf country. And so now, after the rain, at the moment we've had around about 5.5 inches over sort of 10 days, so that has made the grass come through really good, but it's also starting to make the heartleaf shoot. So I just wanted to do this video at the moment because I've got the bentonite here ready, because I didn't want to put the bentonite out too early, so that I could sort of start to just hit them with it, hit the cattle with the bentonite just as the heartleaf was coming through. Now I haven't got a whole lot here. I've only got a few bags because I wasn't really planning on having this fire come through at the moment. Otherwise I would have bought a whole lot more, but I was just going to do a trial on it. But anyway, this will be a really good trial, after it's been burnt like this, after the heartleaf has been burnt. So I'm just going to mix this stuff, mix the bentonite with the salt, sulfur and calcium mix that I normally do. I've done a video on that in the past as well. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to put some of this in through the mixer, and then we'll go out and put it out into the lick troughs. So that's the bentonite there. It's just like a clay sort of a material. I don't really know how much I should put in. A bit of research that I've done, I've looked at a few lick block manufacturers that use bentonite in their lick blocks for absorbing poisons, and some of them are up as high as 30%. I think one was even 33% of bentonite in the mix. So I don't think you can sort of overdose. I think it's just a case of putting in what you think. So I'm gonna put probably about five of these dippers in with a bag of salt, and just start the cattle off on that and see how they go. See how they like it, whether they're sort of like, you'll be able to, with how I know how much they eat the salt already, how quickly they go through it, I'll be able to gauge off that whether they're not eating enough because I've got too much bentonite in, and so I'll just go through like that, and I'll probably increase the quantity of bentonite over the next couple of weeks and see how it goes. Yeah, so I just said before that I was going to put it in with the salt and sulfur mix, but I was just thinking of a study that I heard about last year, I think it was early this year, that when you feed sulfur in lick, it increases the cattle's ability and desire to browse leaves. So I just decided here that I won't put sulfur in with this mix. I'll just put the calcium and the copper and just the bentonite in with the salt, and I'll leave the sulfur out of the mix for the time being. Okay, so I've mixed up a few bags of salt here now with the bentonite in it, and now we'll go out and put it in the troughs. This bush that I'm standing beside here, this is a heartleaf bush that's been cooked from the fire, and down the bottom here is where it's starting to shoot. So let me show you. Just don't know how well the camera can show, but right down at the base here, you can see the little fresh shoots coming up there out of the ground around the base of the bush, and that is the new heartleaf shoots there, and that is when it's at its most deadly stage. As you can see here, there's a branch coming out here that has been cooked, and that's the little shoots right down there around the base of the plant that's been cooked by the fire. So give them little shoots there another few days, and they'll be up tall enough for the cattle to actually get their mouths around them and eat them. That's when you run into the most damage then with when the cattle eat them fresh shoots. So hopefully with putting this bentonite into the lick, we can at least reduce the number of deaths that we'd normally get with our cattle at the moment after a fire like this. So that's the plan. I've done a bit of research on putting bentonite in the lick for this purpose, and everything that I can sort of look into, it all tells me the same thing, that bentonite definitely works for reducing poison deaths in your cattle. So I'll keep you posted on how it goes, but just for the time being, this is just sort of a quick trial run. I'm just putting a little bit out just to see how the cattle like it. That'll tell me whether I need to put more in or less in, depending on how the cattle are eating it, and I'll keep you posted. Thank you.